Supply and Demand by William Meikle. The man who walked into my office was old school through and through. A squad of little old ladies on Harris had toiled for years to make his suit. His tie was knotted just right, and his brogue squeaked as he walked across the room. He looked to be in his 70s, but held his back ramrod straight. He strode into the room as if he owned it and thrust a hand at me that I couldn't refuse to shake.
Thanks for seeing me, Doctor.
In truth, I didn't have any option. All psych cases from the ER were referred straight to me, and the call had come in about this strange little man in reception less than 5 minutes before. I didn't quite know what to make of him yet. All I knew was that he had thrown a screaming fit when an orderly approached him. He sat down across the desk from me and smiled.
I'm not mad, you know.
Prove it, I said, smiling back. He crossed his legs, making sure that the seams on his trouser legs were straight and that no ankle was showing above his sock before he was happy to relax.
Doctor, do you believe in God?
Yes.
Good. That'll make this easier. I started to notice this nearly 30 years ago.
Notice what?
Give me a chance and I'll tell you. But first, another question, if I may. Do you think you have a soul?
Yes. I'm not overly religious, but I do believe that there's something that survives us. And call it a soul if you must.
An interesting position for a scientific man to take, is it not?
More common than you might think. But we're not here to talk about me. Do you have a point?
Yes, and as I said, I'm getting to it.
He fiddled with his cuffs, making sure that just the right amount of shirt showed.
One of the perils of getting old is that the world changes around you so much. And back then, when I started to see them, it was still the 70s. And the world had already changed so much that I thought they were just another manifestation.
They?
Patients. Yes, I'm sure you hear about them all the time from your own patients. But I'm not ready for the tinfoil hat. Not yet. No, what I was seeing was children. Little children. Children with blank stares. Children with no joy in their hearts. Children without souls. And doctor, they were everywhere.
He stopped, sudden tears running down his cheeks. It's not uncommon. As we get older, we get disassociated from the consensus reality and...
Listen, doctor, I'm old. I'm not stupid. For 30 years, I've watched them. And now they're in positions of power. Policemen, doctors, lawyers, and soon they're going to be politicians. And where will we be then?
I don't quite understand what you're trying to tell me.
The soulless, doctor. They're walking the earth in the millions. And their numbers are growing.
His tears coursed freely now. And he started to get agitated. My hand crept closer to my panic button, but I didn't hit it.
As far as I can work it out, there are two reasons. One of them gives me slight hope for my own future, but neither is good news. Either God has given up on us completely, in which case it's all over but the shout.
Or
there's only a finite number of souls available at any one time, and we're growing too fast for God to keep up.
Don't you think that God, being God, would have factored that in?
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he never meant for us to get so far ahead of ourselves. And here's what really worries me, doctor. Maybe what I'm seeing is his way of telling us that our time is up.
He started to look around him as if afraid he was being watched. I tried to keep my voice low and calm. And why do you think only you are seeing whatever it is that you're seeing? He was quiet for a long time before answering.
I think everybody sees them. It's just they choose not to notice. Look around you. Violence is escalating everywhere. People get killed for little more than the coin in their pocket. Babies become addicted to drugs before they're born. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. Our moral compass is broken and we know it. We just choose to look the other way while the numbers of the soulless grow and we sink ever closer to the end. And doctor, there's nothing I can do about it.
When the orderly came in, the old man took one look at him and screamed even louder.
Oh my God, look, he's one of them.
Eventually, it took 3 orderlies and a dose of Thorazine to quiet the old man. He had one last look at me as he was carried out.
Just look, doctor. Please look.
I watched the orderlies carry him off down the corridor. Then went to the one place I knew I could trust to lift my spirits after such an encounter. The maternity ward was, as usual, full of hustle and bustle. Along the far wall, a row of fathers looked into the recovery area where row after row of newborn babies lay. Just looking at them always calmed me, reassured me that despite all the sad despair I saw every day, there was some hope in new life. But today was different. The babies lay still, quiet. Their dark, cold stares followed me as I walked quickly away. The end.